Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are doing great. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the most asked term and also one of the most required term, and that is confidence. Starting with what exactly this confidence is. So, this term confidence is not an absolute thing that can be measured. So, we can basically measure so many things in terms of a quantity, such as meter, we can measure distance in meter, we can measure the quantity of water or milk in liter, milliliter. But this term confidence is not an absolute thing, it is a relative thing, so it cannot be exactly measured. So, how do we exactly know that we are confident enough or we are not confident enough? This term confidence is mostly misunderstood by people that a confidence is being an extrovert person, which is also not the truth. So now we are going to ponder upon this thing confidence a little bit more. What exactly this confidence is confidence is what going on the stage and speaking in front of so many people, is confidence traveling to so many places alone. Is that a confidence? Well, that is not exactly a confidence. So, people misunderstand it with a confidence, but confidence is a thing that a person has, and all of these things, that traveling alone or also speaking in front of so many people, in front of a big crowd, and maybe speaking on YouTube as well, in front of social media, lots of people, basically is an effect of something. It is not a cause, and the cause is the confidence. So how do we exactly say that we are confident? I have made some coffee for myself, and before my coffee gets cold, I will like to talk to you about the first stage of confidence. And this first stage of confidence is mostly with the people who are beginners. So, who are these people that we can call as beginners? Beginners are the people who haven't started yet. So most of the people are like us only, who will like to do something, but they haven't started doing that thing yet. For example, I will like to watch anime series in Japanese and without any subtitles, but I haven't started learning Japanese yet. Or I would like to go into Japan and I will like to talk there and talk to their people and like to live there for some time maybe. But I haven't started learning Japanese yet. Or I will like to get fit, I will like to get in shape, but I haven't started with exercise yet. So some of the people are like that, fearing who are fearing the mistakes. So there is this norm generally, and the norm is that to do some of the act, we have to be a perfectionist, we have to be good at it. But the truth is that for the most of the time, when we start with something, we are obviously going to be imperfection, and that is actually the real norm, and that we need to accept that norm. We need to accept our mistakes, and even we can just give it a name, that we can call our mistakes as experiments. So if someone tells us, yeah, you're doing mistake in that particular thing, then we can say that, oh no, it is just an experiment that I'm trying with this approach as well. So I will give you an example, and it is about the video making. And I have watched so many YouTube videos about how to make good videos, how to make different types of videos and different experiments. And one of the most advice that is given is that your first 100 videos are going to be mistakes slash experiments. So you have to try in each and every video something different, and those are anyways going to be a mistake, and no one is going to maybe enjoy those videos, no one is going to maybe watch those videos. You have maybe very low subscriber count, but you are starting with it. You're just taking the camera out, you are just trying to see what different kind of lighting is there in each and every video. You're just making that camera on. There are just some few little steps that we need to take as a beginner, that we need to break that whole big act into small different acts, like just taking the camera out, keeping the camera out in front of us all the time. So we are obviously going to use it one day or another. So just take the camera out, push the record button and start recording. You don't need to upload it somewhere. Go with that mindset. Maybe you are just uploading it for yourself. So that is the thing. When you are going to start with something, you want to learn something, you want to get good at it, there is always going to be a beginner stage. There is always going to be that start point where you need to just start with it. And if you're not going to start with it, how you're going to build the confidence? Because there are going to come next stages after it, right? So there is another very simple example, and that example is of a baby. So babies are the ones, those are the most confident. They can cry anywhere, they can do anything anywhere. So they are not afraid. And it is not just about afraid, it is also about ashamed. This feeling of shame, it comes from the realization of making mistake. But when we think of making an experiment, so if there is a baby and that wants to get up or that wants to learn walking, it is not going to be ashamed of just trying out different things, falling and thinking what are people going to think. That baby is not going to be ashamed of any of those things. So that is the most pure and simplest example. So we all need to be little babies while we want to start with something. We just need to start with something, because without starting we cannot go to the next stages, we cannot learn, we cannot, because we just need to get so enclosed in this idea of perfection that we forget that most of the experiments, most of the new inventions are made by realizing going at a different route. So so just start with something. So just let go all of the fear and shame of being and doing mistakes, because it is just a norm. We all going to make the mistakes. Maybe this video that I am making, this is a mistake in itself, but still I am going to make it, right? When I changed the place of my sitting, the reason is that in the another room there was a little bit too much of noise coming from the window, and I live in an Indian city, so noise is most ideal over here. Anyhow, I want to talk about one more point that is applicable for the first stage, and that point is confirmation bias. So we all are human beings, and being a human being, we have this tendency to confirm ourselves with the group. So we are the social people. Human beings are social animals. So we want to be in a group. We want to confirm ourselves with a group. And in this step, because we are beginners, we are trying to learn something new, we will be going against maybe our group, our social standards. And so because of that, this fear of going against the society and going against the norm of society, maybe that is one another thing that can maybe add even more pressure to start with something. So that's the first stage that I talked about just few minutes ago. that the stage of starting something, the stage of beginner. So in that stage we need to also let go the fear of not conforming with the societal standards, what people are going to talk about us, what anyone is going to say about us. That letting go all of the fear and just do the thing we always wanted to learn something. If we know if we are doing a right thing, then, and we know that there is always going to be a beginner stage, because people will always act like there is no beginner stage in any learning, but of course there is a beginner stage in every learning. So letting go also the fear of the societal standards and what people will think, that is also one of the more important factor in the stage number 1. Well, talking about the second stage is of the learner, and believe me or not, this second stage is a very difficult stage, because there goes a lot of consistency, lot of hard work, most importantly lot of patience in this stage. So consistency, to maintain the consistency, it is important to have a motivation, but it is also as much, and actually more than motivation, it is important to make a schedule, make it a habit. Even if we are not motivated to do it, still to do it, that is what the consistency means, and to make a habit building means. So most of the people, like me also, when suppose I want to get in shape or want to become more healthy, I start exercising one day, so I completed the first stage of starting. But to maintain that as a habit again and again and again, because I'm not going to be that ideal person in just a one day, so to maintain that that whole consistency is a very difficult thing. Going with that, one more point is that the state of flow. The state of flow, this is one term, that is a state of flow, and this state of flow comes from mainly a Japanese concepts. This state of flow can be called as when we are doing a particular activity, and that activity is not a very difficult activity, but it is just a difficult that we can do it. It is just above our skills, just little bit above our skills, that we can do it if we put a little extra effort. And also the activity about which we are passionate about. So while doing that particular activity and achieving that particular goal, while it is a short term goal, maybe we go in a state of flow, we get immersed into that particular learning thing or experiment thing, that we forget about all other things around us, and we are so much focused, so much and that is when we can call ourselves confident. So a person who is a confident person while doing a particular activity, maybe for example public speaking, or maybe making a painting, or any particular activity, maybe cooking particular dish. So that person is most confident when the person is in a state of flow. So this particular thing is very important in the second stage, to maintain the consistency and to maintain that doing everyday thing, because confidence cannot be achieved without a particular thing is repeated again and again. Maybe not in the same way, making a different experiment. For example, I'm making a video, and today I experiment with just sitting at a one place and recording. Maybe next day I just change the lighting a little bit, and I record the video with the changed lighting settings. Maybe one day I talk very professionally, then maybe another day I will talk very casually. And so these are different things, to try out the different things, to learn the different things, to learn the different methods, rather than focusing on one particular method too much, and to keep on learning. Maybe specialization is also fine, but to keep on learning, to learning it from the root, why we are doing it, how to do that particular thing, how to achieve the skills which are most important. And these are all of the things that which will help a lot in this second stage of the learning something, that will make a person more confident. Because if I say that uh, if for example someone gives me a task that talk about something about medical science, and I cannot be a confident person by speaking anything or anything irrelevant. I have to expand my knowledge base about that particular topic, my skill base about that particular topic, to be confident enough. So, when we talk about a person who is confident enough, people are not always confident in a particular thing or skill if they do not have that particular skill or knowledge. People are only and only confident when they believe that they can do it, they can make it, they can do that particular thing with a really good skill. So when talking about the first stage, we discussed upon the acceptance that making a mistake. But in this second stage, more than the acceptance, it is also important to have that particular consistency and building on the skill sets things, because acceptance plus building on the knowledge and skill set will make our confidence more stronger. Well, speaking about the third stage, and this third stage is basically when we are at the highest stage of that particular skill and knowledge. We have achieved that particular knowledge, what we were targeting for, and we are obviously going to be very confident about that, because we have that particular skills, we have also acceptance of our abilities, and because now we are having really good skills in that particular topic, and we accept that we have a particular good skills now, so we are obviously going to be confident. But there is one loophole about that we can be too much overconfident at a time, that we know that we can do it by this particular method very efficiently, and we will not keep on exploring, we will forget to explore more beyond that particular dimension, and then there comes a problem of an overconfidence. And I'm not a much eligible person to talk about this particular topic of overconfidence, because I'm not yet overconfident about most of the things. But I want to talk about this thing a little bit further, that when we achieve a particular skill set, there is always to achieve more. We cannot achieve anything fully, perfectly. And suppose today I learned Japanese, and now I realize that I am very good, very confident about speaking in Japanese. But now I want to start something completely new. For example, learning Spanish, and I'm completely zero at that, so I will have to start from a beginner step at that particular point. And that is when we have to realize that, oh my god, I was expert at, did so much, and I became expert in one thing, and now I have to start in the another thing from zero, and that can be again very much demanding, very much difficult. Again we have to start in that another thing from the stage of acceptance, that we have to make the mistakes, we are anyways going to make the mistake, and again that is like a cycle, that whole cycle. So we are not confident in everything and each and everything always, because our knowledge base will always have to keep on expanding itself, and so it is always going to be a cycle from a beginner stage to a learner stage to an expert stage, and again into the beginner stage of something else, or maybe in the same thing. So I hope you got to learn in this video much about the confidence. I talked about what I know, and I talked about from my own experience and my own knowledge base. I hope it will help you in your own real life for living a better, sustainable, and more happy life. Well, I forgot to cover up a little point, and I want to just mention that while ending the video. And recently, I watched one Skillshare class. I will just link it down the name of the Skillshare author, Skillshare teacher, and in that class, she was talking about the artworks and a sketchbook, maintaining a sketchbook, and what she said that when we want to learn painting, and we are going to learn, suppose I want to learn painting and I want to really improve at it, and I decided that I am going to make five sorry, not four, five best artworks in this year, and I put my all of my effort into those five artworks. But when I'm going to start with the first artwork, and it is going to be so difficult, so much pressure on me, because in a whole year I'm going to make only five artworks, and that will build up so much pressure on me, that it will be very difficult to achieve that a good artwork stage, and even after the completing artwork I may not be very satisfied. But maybe if I tell myself that I am going to paint each and every day of the year, each and every day, or maybe from the 365 days I'm going to paint for maybe 100 days a year, so maybe for just 1 hour every day, then it will automatically bring down the pressure, and I think that is the one thing that is very similar to the confidence, because when we keep on doing something, that is a one stage in between, the middle stage, the learner stage, that we keep on doing something again and again and again in a particular time period, with consistency we will automatically get more confident, and we will automatically learn more skills and knowledge, which ultimately make us confident. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I tried a few different things in video, like I tried to make this video very casual as against my last video of management studies experience, and I think I like this approach a little bit better. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comments, or maybe in a personal message is also fine. What do you guys think about this different approach? Thank you so much, guys and girls. This is a relevant term and all encompassing term. So thank you so much everyone. Thank you so much people. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you. Take care. See you next time. Stay happy. Stay safe. Bye bye. See ya.